got all that straight?
Yes.
And leave right away. Where's the envelope, May?
Here. Why'd you want it?
Because I don't know what's going to happen to me now. I've got some bonds here and my will. It ain't much, but I want to take care of you. By now, the cops must have orders to shoot to kill.
Oh.
Here, this won't take a minute. Just a few signatures.
But how are you going to get out of it, George?
I'll find this guy, Franz Kirley.
Can't you explain to the cops?
Do you think they'll buy a story like mine?
Oh, I don't know.
Here, take these bonds and keep them in a safe place. They're as good as cash now.
But how are you going to find Kirley?
I don't know. But you can find a man if you want to. What's that?
Well, clipping just fell out of your envelope.
Clipping?
Yeah, from the newspaper. George, when did you have that breakdown?
In the spring of 1940, the year before I married you. Why?
You never did tell me much about that.
Well, there wasn't much to tell. Why are you asking me about it now?
Because this clipping is dated 1940, May 7th.
So what?
What's the name of this guy you picked up at the cemetery?
Franz Kirley.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Listen to this. Services were held for the late Franz Kirley, who was buried in Wolfbane Cemetery this morning. The deceased was killed in an automobile accident 2 days ago.
Let me see that clipping.
Here.
Inner Sanctum Mysteries, starring Ann Seymour and Myron McCormick. Brought to you by the makers of Carter's Little Liver Pills, the best friend to your sunny disposition.
Good evening, friends. Welcome. Welcome to the Inner Sanctum. This is Raymond, your host, teller of strange tales. Come in, if you dare. Now, before we begin, a word to those of you who don't frighten easily. It'll be no disgrace if before we're finished you find yourself trembling against your will.
Inner Sanctum Mysteries takes great pleasure in presenting two of America's best-known and best-loved radio artists, Miss Ann Seymour and Mr. Myron McCormick. Tonight, these two favorites of the air lanes co-star in The Man from Yesterday, an original radio mystery drama by Milton Geiger, brought to you by the makers of Carter's Little Liver Pills, the laxative with the two-way action. For over 60 years, everybody has known that the name Carter's Little Liver Pills means gentle and efficient help whenever a laxative is needed. Yes, and they know, too, that Carter's Little Liver Pills bring added relief by waking up the flow of a very important digestive juice. So take advantage of this two-way action and ask for Carter's Little Liver Pills.
Do you like to have your hair stand on end? You like to feel your blood run cold? Of course you do. Come along with me, then, to the jungle. Still and hot, weirdly yellow in the strange light of the tropic moon. In a clearing, the African natives of Dr. Robert Rand's museum party sway to the slow throb of their drums. A few hundred yards off in the thick bush, a monstrous humpbacked shape drops silently from the trees, moves swiftly across the shadowed jungle floor. Suddenly, the earth gives way under the dark, crouching monster's feet. He struggles wildly a moment and falls, disappearing into the earth.
Ran. Quick, come quick. Ngagi, come quick.
Eh? What's up, Sangala?
Is something wrong, Sangala?
Wana, you come fast. Bring big gun.
Oh, what is it?
Ngagi.
Gorilla? Where?
Old man gorilla. He fallen trap.
Oh, you shouldn't go, Bob. Your fever...
Where is he? Where is the gorilla?
Sangala, show you. Bring big gun. You follow me.
Can you see him down there, Bob?
Can I see him? What a fellow. What a prize he'd be for Professor Converse at the museum. A full-grown gorilla. Ruth, we've got to get this fellow home, alive.
Oh, Bob, it's dangerous. You're ill. Must you?
Converse would never forgive me if I didn't.
Bob,
What is it?
the gorilla hasn't made a sound for some time now.
That's right. Turn the flashlight down there, will you, Ruth? That's very strange.
Is he hurt?
No. But look at him. See how he stares up at me.
Yes. And such steady, knowing, intelligent eyes. Almost human.
Yes. Gazing so steadily into my own. Unflinching. Unafraid. And puzzled. As though he's seen me before. As though he recognizes me. Is trying to remember me from somewhere. Sometime.
All right. Easy, man. All away.
Ah, it's exciting, isn't it?
Nerve-wracking, moving a great ape from where he obviously belongs to where he obviously doesn't. All right, hold it, man. Keep the cage from swinging as it comes down to deck level. All right. Lower away. Easy there now. All right. Good. That does it, man. Now cast away the lowering chains and begin closing the hatch. We'll be right up.
I'm tired, Bob.
A little. But it's a relief to have Engadji safely stowed away down here.
Engadji. It's a musical name, isn't it?
Means gorilla. Well, nothing to do but keep him safe in his cage, keep him from catching cold, and feed him wild carrots and parsley. If it were for anyone but Professor Converse, I'd chuck it all right now. Sorry I started it. I don't like him, Gadji.
Oh, he's a gentleman and a scholar.
Don't talk playful nonsense about him, Ruth. He's a killer.
He is not. I happen to know.
What do you mean you happen to know? Have you been around his cage again lately?
Well, I've been teaching him a few simple tricks, if that's what you mean.
What do you call a simple trick?
Well, for example, shaking hands with a lady.
Ruth, you haven't.
I have, and is my arm torn from its socket? It is not.
Ruth, don't you understand? You can't make friends with a gorilla. You can't compromise with the jungle. And Gadji is clever and he's dangerous. He'll watch with those beady little eyes of his. He'll wait with that tricky little brain of his. Until his time comes. Now, don't give him his chance, Ruth.
Oh, you're not well, Bob. And so you magnify the dangers and the menace of the jungle and all that bookish stuff. All out of proportion to... Well, what's the matter?
Look at him. He's been watching me all the time. You see how he stares at me? Never batting an eye. Never moving a hair. Watching me. Matching my gaze, stare for stare.
Oh, come out of it, Bob.
Been like this from the moment we captured him. Ruth, that abysmal brute knows something.
Darling, this stuffy ship's hold is getting you. Let's go and feed some quinine, huh?
Very well.
What'll I do with Engadji back home?
That's Professor Converse's problem, and he's welcome. Up the ladder with you. All right, men, batten it down.
Bye-bye, Engadji. So long, old man. Be good.
Hey, from before.
That's it. That's it. Ah, good fellow. Now, the other hand. Take my left hand now. The left. That's it. Oh, careful now. Don't squeeze so hard. Hey, Butch, take it easy. No. Mustn't pull it. Stop pulling, do you hear? Engage. That's better. Now let go of the lady's hand. That's it. Now then, how about some exercise? Think you could walk around the hold here with a distinguished dame on your arm? Yeah, let's see how this chain and iron pin work on this door. They think you can't be trained, but I know you can. Oh, this is easy. Oh, have this iron pin up in just a minute. Oh, just be patient, old fellow. Oh, here it comes. Oh. Well, better luck next time.
You down there, Ruth?
Coming, Bob. I was just having a word with Ngaji.
Well, hurry. We've got little old New York on our horizon, and I'm quite glad.
That's very kind of you, Professor Converse, putting Ruth and me up at the museum like this.
Not at all. It's an empty room. Besides, I want to keep an eye on that fever of yours, because you won't.
Well, nevertheless, Professor, we won't impose on your hospitality a moment more than it takes us to get settled again here in America.
Yeah. Here's another door. After you, Rand.
Thank you.
This old wing is out of use, but it still has electricity. And what's more important, heat. So the zoo can build proper quarters for Ngaji, we'd better keep him in here where the temperature is even.
I've been thinking, Professor. These oak doors wouldn't be any problem at all to Ngaji if he happened to get on the loose.
True. The door closing off this old wing from the new building is really made of iron.
I see.
So, unless your gorillas of the armor-piercing variety, pretty safe. Here's next to the last door. This used to be our dinosaur room.
A huge room.
Well, here we are. Royal Suite itself.
Ruth, what are you doing in here?
I'm talking to Ngaji. Hello, Professor.
I shouldn't become too familiar with Ngaji, Mrs. Rand.
Oh, he's quite gentle. You know what he does now? He takes the rings off my fingers and then gives them back.
Takes the rings off your fingers. Ruth, come on, let's get out of here.
All right. You're rougher than a 500-pound ape. He's a real gentleman.
Look at him. Look how he presses his face between the bars. To get a closer look at me. It's been like that. By George, I'll give him a good look at
Don't
me.
get too close, Rand. Now, careful.
Well, he doesn't know you well, Bob. Bob!
There, you ugly brute. Take a look. Take a good long look. Well, what do you see? All right, he missed me.
Could have shattered your skull with that blow, Rand.
But it's only because he doesn't know you, Bob.
He does know me. He looked into my face, and he saw something. What did he see?
What do you think he saw? Well, I'm no fortune teller. I'm only Raymond, your host here in the Inner Sanctum. But I can tell you he must have seen something. But what was it? That's the big question. Yes, and when that logy, dull, sluggish feeling tells us that a laxative may be needed, the big question is, what laxative will do you the most good? Lots of folks have answered the question successfully by taking Carter's Little Liver Pills. Why? Because Carter's Little Liver Pills offer help in these two effective ways. One, they help relieve irregularity in an efficient, thorough, yet gentle manner. Two, usually within a half hour after taking them, Carter's Little Liver Pills wake up the flow of a very important digestive juice. It's this vital juice that helps tone up a lazy, sluggish digestive system so that folks can lose their grouts and feel better. You better keep that in mind, friends. And next time, remember Carter's Little Liver Pills. The laxative that helps in more ways than one. All right. Do you still want to know what the man from yesterday saw when he looked into Rand's face? You'll be sorry, but you asked for it. So let's go into Ngaji's cage with him now, as he listens to a strange, mysterious voice.
Ngaji, Lord of the Jungle, do you hear me? Do you hear, Ngaji? Do you hear the jungle speak?
Ngaji, I am Ngaji.
I am the jungle.
Jungle.
You looked into the man-creature's pale eyes. Do you remember now? Do you remember that other Ngaji 1,000 million moons ago, before the pale man-creature walked the earth?
Man, small, weak.
Do you remember, Ngaji?
Remember.
You fought with him in the jungle, fought for the beautiful she. He conquered. How you hated him.
Hey.
He was mighty, and he was different from the others. When the others swept through the trees, that other one ran, swift as the wind, on the ground. Remember.
Remember. Hey.
You fought, and you died. That other one who was different stood triumphant in the clearing, his neck half bitten through, victorious. He who would one day be a man.
Man.
Your conqueror then, your captor now.
Hate. Hate, man.
Where is your strength, O Ngaji? That this same other one conquers you again, as he did 1,000 million moons ago.
I am strong. I am Ngaji.
Yet, the weak one wins. Here.
Come in, Rand. Come in.
Good evening, Professor. So you knew it was me.
Of course. Well,
That's exactly why I'm here, Professor. Getting to be a habit around here. There's a knocking. It must be that feverish fool Rand.
come now. We want you here.
There's such a thing as wearing out your welcome.
You paid 1,000 times by bringing us back that magnificent gorilla.
I don't consider that adequate compensation. Professor, I might as well tell you. I'm sorry I ever blundered over the brute.
He's just getting you again. Go to bed and take
No,
some...
no. I'm afraid of him, Gadget. Not in the physical sense. I could cope with his power, his force. But he's changed. I can't cope with what he's become. It infuriates and humiliates me that gorilla has something on me. Has me at some disadvantage that I don't understand. It's gotten under my skin. You remember when he struck at me 3 weeks ago?
Do I remember? Of course I do.
He changed after that. When he looks at me now, he isn't puzzled. He isn't searching his memory for some clue to me anymore. He knows. He knows who I am and what I mean to him. Whatever it is, he hates me. Hates me with a dreadful, consuming energy.
I don't question that, Rand. It's plain enough.
Yeah, do you hear? He never had those tempers. Now something is tormenting him into a frenzy of hatred and defiance. Something in that secret brain of his.
You'd better calm him down before he dashes out that secret brain of his. Come on, Rand. We'll talk later. Who did you say was afraid of whom?
He's quiet, yes. But look at those eyes. Where have you seen such hatred?
Or such tremendous living power?
Yes. You've got to admire it at first. You almost think for a moment that he represents the super race. That big, black-haired, purebred gorillas are the dominating people. And on the basis of sheer power, with a certain amount of intelligence and ruthlessness, you think he ought to rule. Then you stop to think. You remember. Yes, he's pure black gorilla and powerful. But after all, he's just a gorilla.
Oh, I thought I heard him guard you fighting in here.
Well, you did. Your precious beast was having a tantrum. You'd catch cold running about barefooted like that, and that wouldn't do. Because Engadji might catch it from you, and that would be the end of Engadji. On second thought, perhaps you'd better run around barefooted.
But, Bob, he's worth a fortune.
Well, so are you. Now run along back to bed. Professor Converse and I have a chess game to play. Hey, Professor?
Engadji. Hi, old fella. I brought you bananas. Here. No, I haven't got any more. What? Oh, my hand. Which one? This? Oh, the left. Sure, pal. Take it easy, though. It breaks. That's a good boy. Oh, no. No, Engadji. Give me back the rings. Come on. Hand over the jewels. I'll pick them up, Engadji. Engadji! All right. Get them myself. But you won't hear the end of it. I'll show you. I've eaten your last banana for a month, and don't you forget it. Engadji! What's the matter? Oh, don't you know me? Engadji, stay back! Stay back!
Your move, Professor. Hey, Scott, the fruit. There's a light in the wing. Look. It's loose. The fruit's loose. Wait a minute, Rand. Here. Take my revolver. I'll come along.
Never mind. Stay here. Call for help. I can't hold him with just a revolver. Hurry!
Bob, help me, Bob! Help me!
Ruth, what happened? Are you hurt?
That's my answer. I unlocked the cage. He threw open the door
there, darling,
space for
that's all
him. I could just get in here and bar the door before he realized he was free.
Can you walk, darling?
No, I ran to the door, but I hit my foot and walked. I can't stand, Bob.
Put your arm around that shoulder. Hurry. He's breaking through.
I let him escape. I let him.
That's it, darling. Now hold tight.
But you're yourself. You can't carry me too, Bob.
Hobble on one foot now. Up.
Oh.
Come on now. All right, darling, quick. The next room. Quick, in here. Now, the next room. We've got to hold him off, throw him up. Come on, Ruth. Courage, darling,
I
courage.
can't. And I'm holding you back. Oh, leave me. Leave me with a gun. I can shoot. Please. Please. No.
In here. I'll try it. I got him. Quick now, before he recovers.
Bob, you can't go on with me.
Just one more door. The last door. All right. Can't smash iron. Keep moving. Try to help. Can you?
I'm trying.
A little further. Just a little further. Here.
Oh, Bob. What's the matter?
Ruth. It's locked. From outside, it's automatic.
Bob, but the professor.
I don't know. He's gone for help.
Oh.
Steady, girl. Steady.
Oh, the lights have hit the fuse box. Richard, the lights.
Listen.
He's dead. I got the shot in my face. He's dead.
Quiet. No. He's alive. He's stalking us in the dark.
How many bullets?
3.
Bob, one more for Engadji. It don't kill him.
Quiet. This way. Keep moving.
Now, Bob. He's against the window. Bob,
The moon. The moon's coming out. Find it.
We'll see him, too. And I've got 2 shots left. Perhaps.
The moon. He sees us.
Friend, where are you? Friend! Why'd you light over here, Professor? Friend.
Oh, thank heaven. You all right? Did you? Oh, my George. You did.
Point blank range. My last 2 shots. Yes.
In truth?
She's a broken ankle. She fainted. She'll be all right, though. Oh. Well, Professor?
That's the end of Unforgiving, eh?
Is it, Professor?
You're certainly dead.
Again.
Again?
Have you ever had the feeling that something that has just happened, has happened before, somewhere, a long time ago?
A very familiar psychological phenomenon. What about it?
I feel that all this has happened before.
Yeah.
And that it will happen again. I only wonder when, and where, and who will be the victor. Then.
Yeah, let me look at you. Oh, yes. You're hurt. There are the marks of teeth on your neck.
An unusual birthmark. It's occurred in my family for generations. Shows up when we become excited. Is it strange, Professor?
All right, friends. You can come out from under your table. Everything's all right now. Ngaji is dead, and we're safe for another 10,000 years.
Good.
Oh, Mr. Hurley, Ngaji was only imaginary, so don't let him worry you.
You're right, Raymond. Especially when real things can be so much more troublesome.
You mean things like an irritable, sour, out-of-sorts feeling that so often warns us a laxative is needed?
Yes, and that's why folks have been taking Carter's Little Liver Pills for years. They know the name stands for dependable, gentle relief. Yes, and besides, folks know that usually within a half hour, Carter's Little Liver Pills will wake up the flow of a very essential digestive juice. This juice is all important to normal, proper digestion. So why don't you take advantage of this time-tested, two-way action and ask for Carter's Little Liver Pills?
Well, friends, it's time to close that squeaking door to the Inner Sanctum until the same time next week. Invite all your friends to be here with you. It'll give you courage. There's safety in numbers. Well, next week, our ghost artist, pardon me, guest artist, comes with the highest credentials. He was on the horror roll at Spirit School. Fine student. And for anyone who'd like a snap course in exciting mystery reading, let me suggest this month's Inner Sanctum novel, The Murder of a Novelist, by Sally Wood. It's on sale at your favorite bookstore. Now, friends, here's an urgent, serious thought. Remember the Red Cross. It needs your help now more than ever. And also remember you are giving both for Christmas and for America. And your presents are United States defense bonds and stamps. Buy all you can afford today. Well, good night. Pleasant dreams, huh?
Attention, armchair detectives. One way to solve a puzzling case is to keep your eyes and ears open. What valuable tip would you get from this conversation?
I ought to have been home 2 hours ago.
Got to get this order out, Tom. It's important.
But I've stayed 3 nights this week.
Well, so's everyone else. Come on, Tom. These days, ground things out.
But you fellas don't feel as sunk and low down and out of sorts as I have lately.
I can't afford to. There's too much work to be done. So when you get the feeling slowed up and sluggish,
Why not do something about it?
Yeah? What do you suggest?
Try Carter's little liver pills.
Right. And when you don't feel good, try Carter's Little Liver Pills. They do the work of calomel, but have no calomel in them. Well, they are simple pills made of vegetable drugs. They wake up the flow of one of our most vital digestive juices. When this vital juice flows at the rate of about 2 pints a day, it helps to digest our food and bring back the glorious feeling that goes with regularity. Then most folks feel like happy days are here again. But be sure you get the genuine Carter's Little Liver Pills. 25 cents at all drugstores.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The makers of Mars Forever Yours bar and all those other good Mars candy bars invite you through the creaking door for another thrilling Inner Sanctum mystery. Tonight, The Unforgiving Corpse, starring Louis Van Rooten.
Good evening, friends of the creaking door. This is your host to welcome you once again into the Inner Sanctum. Come in, come on in. Spooking of baseball, we've a team that you'll really lose your mind over. Our pitcher's a real sweetheart, razor sharp. His best pitch is a ghost ball. Swing at it and it disappears, along with the pitcher. Double-headers. Nobody's better equipped for them than we are. An odd sight, you know, watching 9 ball players with 18 heads. And kill the umpire? In our league, Bud, that's no idle threat.
Now into the Inner Sanctum for thrilling mystery. But first, this is Alan Z. Anthony. You know, certain things are very personally yours, things that make you the person you are. Your voice, your features, your manner. Yes, your particular tastes, too. For example, you may be one of those extra special individuals who strongly prefer dark chocolate. And that's why Mars puts their special candy-making magic to work to bring you that delicious Mars Forever Yours candy bar. For you who particularly prefer dark chocolate. Forever Yours makes the most of that dark chocolate by delightful flavor contrast, by wrapping it thick around creamy, whipped, pure vanilla nougat topped with golden caramel. Yes, the not-too-sweet taste of elegant dark chocolate in a refreshing flavor combination with the clean, bright taste of pure vanilla. That's Forever Yours. That's the candy bar particularly for you and made to be forever yours.
And now for tonight's Quakes and Shudders. Acted out in San Amado, a prairie town somewhere beyond the limits of reason. Hear them? Coyotes. It's a lullaby you sleep to in San Amado, if you can sleep. And here's another soothing sound in the night. An express train roaring by. It doesn't stop in San Amado except on signal. Prairie coyotes and screaming train whistles night after night, every night. They can haunt you. That is, if you haunt like old Ben Sears. Sears is station master at the railroad whistle stop and very morbid about it.
When the man's head is bowed low with grief and guilt, he sometimes sees the devil rise before him. He sees the devil, and he gives him a face.
And what face do you give me, Ben says?
What?
I ask, what face do you give me?
Silver white, like the moon sits on your shoulders.
And my eyes?
Eyes cold. The sockets cold like a frost, like the touch of death.
Shall I touch you?
No!
Why so afraid, Benzies?
You and I are talking.
You think not? We've things to recall together, Benzies.
What things?
Things like your murder of me. Have you forgotten the old 1155?
No, it's a brand on my memory.
Then say my name.
Kirby Willis, engineer of the train.
The rail was split at Jericho Bend, but you did not signal for me to stop.
No, they found Kirby Willis in the hollow of Jericho Bend with his hand on the throttle.
I died when no man should.
When no man should, Kirby.
I had a girl promised to me.
Your Jenny.
My Jenny, yes. You cost me more than life, that black night, Benzies.
What payment are you here to take from me?
Live through this week and see, old man. Live through this week and keep your eyes to the ground.
Keep my eyes to the ground. I'd be a haunted man. It was a promise made by the devil himself. I'd be a haunted man. Huh?
Pop, open up.
Oh, it was Fred, my stepson, bringing me a warming drink, like he did every night.
Well, why the locked door, Pop?
Against prowlers?
In Santa Mato? Oh, that's a joke. The only prowlers around here are four-legged. Coyotes. Coffee for you. I'll go home to bed now.
Fred, wait.
Huh?
I saw a man tonight. I saw Kirby Willis.
Kirby Willis? Who's he? Hey, wait, the name's familiar. Your mind's not slipping back into the dark. Not again.
It was Kirby. Stood before me in the station yard. He spoke to me.
And invited you out of your mind.
I murdered him, Kirby said. At a time when no man should die.
Ah, forget Kirby Willis and think of the miracle that happened. Only one life lost.
The rails were split. I didn't signal Kirby to stop.
Because you couldn't know about the busted rail. You were acquitted of negligence at the hearing.
I never acquitted myself.
Because you like living in the dark. 10 years now. Oh, telegraph message coming in if you're up to it.
Take it for me, Fred, please.
Says, 11:55's due by in 1 minute now.
It's right on time.
On the button. Hey, move over, Pop. Make room in the dark for a relative.
Make room.
There's more to the message. Last half says, I'll be riding the engine again. Signed, Kirby Willis.
11:55. Willis rode the 11:55 that night.
Shut up.
Found him in the hollow, sealed in his wrecked cab with his hand dead on the throttle.
Shut up, Pop, shut up. It's gone. Hey, Pop.
Yes, Fred.
You're like something contagious. Stick close to you nights and I can get to be just as crazy as you.
I'm sorry, son.
You know, just then with the 11:55 clearing the station, you know what crazy thought flashed through my head? This is the anniversary week of the wreck of the old 11:55. It would really be one for the books if the ghost of Kirby Willis rode the 11:55 into another wreck. How about that, Pop?
I, too, had the same thought. I kept my mind in the dark. and my eyes to the ground later in Santa Marta Cemetery. I held my lantern over a headstone. Here lies Kirby Willis. Risen from the dead he was. There was every sign. An open grave, an open coffin lid. I could see by the shine of my lantern that Kirby wasn't in his coffin.
You came to see with your own eyes that Kirby Willis is outside his coffin.
Kirby?
On the path, plain in the light of your lantern. See me?
Yes.
I rode the 11:55 tonight.
I know. Kirby, to send a message on the wireless. How was it done?
I'll be riding the 11:55 every night. This anniversary week, Ben says.
And on the last night? Will the train go through on the last night?
Live through the week and see. Since you've come to comfort the dead, why not take yourself over to Jenny?
To Jenny?
5 graves from this one. Count 5 graves from mine. Go. Ask Jenny to tell you how she died.
I counted 5 graves from Kirby's. I stood there with my mind in the dark, my eyes to the ground. An open grave. This one, too. But the lid of the coffin was closed. Closed. But it opened while I watched. And a specter in white rose up.
Ben Sears? Are you Ben Sears?
I am.
Kirby sent you to me?
Yes. To ask how you died, he said. How did you die?
In my wedding gown. I was fitting it to wear for Kirby when the news came that night.
It was a tragic hour.
I stood there and didn't move. When they told me about Kirby, I never moved again from that minute.
You willed yourself to die.
My heart swelled up as big as myself, and then it stopped. I stopped it.
It was a bad time to die, when living was so good. And Kirby, firm to his promise, rode the 11:55 for the anniversary week. And always with a message for me at 11:54, just 1 minute before.
I'll ride the engine of the 11:55, Ben says. Look to the rail at Jericho Bend.
Look to the rail. Kirby meant to ride the 11:55 to his death again. Stop! Stop the train! Stop!
It's too late.
Jenny!
It's too late to stop the train. 10 years too late.
But Kirby Willis is at the throttle. There'll be another wreck.
It's too late to care, Ben. See? The train's come in.
Our friends, your hosts, with a friendly warning. We may wind up with a thrill that'll chill you. Remember, if you go for dark chocolate, go get it. Get it in a Mars Forever Yours candy bar. That'll thrill you. And when the heat's on, pal, keep cool. Keep that Forever Yours in the refrigerator for a real chiller thriller. A frosty friend that's truly forever yours. Ben's sense of guilt isn't so big, really. Size 2, that's all. Kirby and Jenny. That engineer, Kirby Willis, now he's really stirring things up. He may be dead, but he's no deadhead. But it's Jenny who gets me. Isn't she a dream girl? Now, let me see. How far out of mind did we get? Oh, yes. There were the serenading coyotes and old Ben Sears. Sears had just seen history repeat itself.
Operator, this is Ben Sears. Sears at the station. Operator, terrible thing. This is 11:55. Operator. Oh, Fred.
What's cooking in the dark now, Pop?
Fred. Telephone. You. I can't make myself understood.
Give me the phone. What am I to say?
Say, outside, what you saw, 11:55. Correct.
Now, who'd be interested in hearing that?
Who'd be interested? Fred, pick up the telephone.
Pop, you're a maniac. You worked hard at becoming one and you made it. Now, what about the 11:55?
It's a wreck.
Kirby Willis, a ghost engineer on a ghost train. The wall clock's behind you, Pop. See what time it says.
11:54. It's only 11:54.
Here's the 11:55 now. Right on time. Your 11:55, Pop. It crashed in your head.
Saner mind than mine. I needed a saner mind than mine to take me by the hand. The wisdom of my years. Where was the wisdom of my years? Wilson, the town supervisor, I let him take me by the hand back to the Santa Marta Cemetery.
Which are the two graves, Ben?
Oh, over here is Kirby Willis. This grave.
This grave, you say?
It says Kirby Willis on the gravestone. I hold the lantern to it. Well, do we see different things, Wilson?
I see an open grave. An open grave and an open coffin.
Then here's 5 graves from this, Wilson. Count 5 graves.
5. I've counted 5.
I'm an old man. I've lost my reason. But not you, Wilson. You're the best mind in Santa Marta. The town supervisor. What do you say?
The grave, as unnatural as the first. Open. And the coffin, empty, like the first.
Ben Sears.
Where is it? Is it Jenny calling to you, Ben?
You hear her too?
Yes.
I stood in my bridal gown and didn't move. My heart swelled up. When it stopped, I stopped. So I could be with Kirby Willis. It was a bad time to die. Such a bad time when living could be so good.
Wilson.
Yes, Ben?
You heard what she said?
Every word.
And did you also see her?
Yes. Like a white mist.
And long flowing hair.
And no flesh that I could see. I do have your hallucinations now, Ben.
In the morning, Wilson, the best we had in Santa Marta, put his hallucinations to rest.
Well, I thought about the things we saw and heard, Ben. All night long, I thought about it. This morning, a clear thought came to me.
Clear thought?
that there's a guiding spirit behind these sights that have turned your mind.
I don't understand.
A guiding spirit with a scheme at hand. A scheme against you, Ben Sears. This morning, I took action. Now, let's see what the ghosts do.
What action did you take?
I ordered an arrest. The arrest of your stepson, Fred.
You arrested Fred?
He's the culprit, with others in with him, looting graves and dressing up to masquerade as ghosts.
Why would Fred conspire against me?
To drive you into the madhouse. Even to drive you to your death.
I can't believe it.
Yes, I know. I know it's a great shock to you. But the boy hates you, Ben.
Fred hates me.
Well, unbalanced as you've been these 10 years, an unsteady, brooding man. Fred's mother died to shut her eyes to the sight of you grieving. The boy thinks this.
Fred blames me for Margaret, his mother's passing.
And there's your house and land. With you gone, it will pass to him. There's profit in hate for Fred. No, I've reasoned it all out. Now let's see what the ghosts will do.
There was a message that night, that last anniversary night. 10 years to the day of the old wreck. Kirby Willis firm to his promise. I could hear his voice in the keys.
I'll ride the 11:55 for the last time tonight. Look to the rail at Jericho Bend.
Look to the rail at Jericho Bend. This time I would. There would be no negligence this time. Jericho Bend, I saw what I hadn't seen 10 years before. The rails were split. Once again, the rails were split. Stop the train. I had to stop the train. This time I knew to stop the train. My signal lantern, I waved it high in the air so Kirby could see it. Hurry! Stop! Stop in the name of mercy! I'd won this time. I'd stopped the train. I woke from a long sleep in the outdoors with someone standing over me. Wilson?
It's me.
The 11:55, Wilson. The 11:55.
The 11:55 came and went.
Came and went?
You signaled it to stop, and it stopped. It's gone now. A train can't wait on a hallucinating old fool.
But the rail at Jericho Bend, it was split. I saw that with my own eyes.
The train took the bend with nothing wrong.
But I saw it. I'll show you. Here at the bend.
I'm standing here to be shown, Ben.
No, the rail is firm now. Fine. What I saw, I didn't see.
Except in your mind.
Yes. But on the ground there, in the hollow, I see a body, a lonely body in the night.
Yes, Ben. A dead man.
It's Kirby Willis, dead where he died before.
No, Ben, not Kirby. We've a strange corpse in this one. And a man who died tonight.
Tonight?
Blood soaked in his clothes and in the dirt. And still bleeding. The old dead don't bleed, Ben. And the old dead don't wear police handcuffs.
Police handcuffs?
There. On his wrists. And a bullet hole in his head. See? This one was shot to death. I'll telephone the coroner to come take the murdered man. Operator.
Wilson, wait with the telephone. It's Kirby on the wireless again.
Kirby, is it? I'll take this message, Ben.
What is the message?
An awakening. from a detective who was on the 11:55 tonight. He's telegraphing from the first town he came to after here. He lost a prisoner, he says, when you stopped the 11:55 tonight.
I don't understand.
A prisoner he was taking to the state penitentiary. Willie French, a convicted man. The message says we're to look for a short man, bald, wearing a dark suit and handcuffs.
That's the murdered man out there.
That is. And we're to tell our sheriff to look for a gangster named Curly Sands and a gun girl named Jenny. A pair who schemed to board the train here in San Amado and seize the prisoner. A scheme to seize the prisoner and murder him. That's how your hallucinations came about. San Amado was the place they picked to stop the 11:55. You were to stop the train for them. Ben? They played on your imagination all this anniversary week to get you to stop the train tonight, as you did. Ben, do you hear me?
Shh. There's a message coming in from Kirby.
Ben, come to your senses. We know the truth now.
I must decode the message.
Ben, help yourself. The keys aren't going. They aren't going. Except in your mind.
Keys are going. But we don't hear the same things anymore. Not anymore.
Well, a corpse in handcuffs. It's a fresh seasonal style note, friends, this merry month of mayhem. It gives death that little added weight. And old station master Ben, the way he kept crying over spilt guilt. A stiff stood up in a coffin and Ben blew his lid. Moral? Oh, sure. This one's a hint on proper behavior. When wandering through graveyards, never stop to chat with strange women.
Now, as I was saying, if you like dark chocolate, remember to ask for a Mars Forever Yours. That's the candy bar that brings you the friendly, honest, not too sweet taste of dark chocolate, delightfully accented with the bright, clean, fresh taste of pure vanilla. Forever Yours for elegant, pure, dark chocolate, wrapped thick around snow-white, pure vanilla nougat, topped with golden caramel. And say, if the weather's getting warm where you are, hear this. Forever Yours bars are being double protected now with a special warm weather inner wrapper to protect and seal in that delicious flavor. For a chill thrill that's really wonderful any warm day, just try a chilled Forever Yours. Get a supply of Forever Yours bars and keep 'em handy in your refrigerator. Yes, keep 'em chilled, and you'll enjoy a chill thrill that's particularly for you. Meant to be Forever Yours. And now, back to our host.
Tonight's Inner Sanctum mystery was written by John Robert and starred Louis Van Ruten in the role of Ben. Lawson Zerby played Wilson. Music was by Lou White. This month's Inner Sanctum mystery novel is Burden of Guilt by Ian Gordon. The entire production of Inner Sanctum is under the direction of Hyman Brown. Well, friends, it's time again to close that creaking door. Until next week at this same time, when we'll be back with more spooks and shudders. Next week, we're featuring a sprightly little item entitled A Corpse There Was, starring a winsome girl who liked to drag corpses around the house, evidently on the principle of not letting any grass grow under her or over them. You'll be sure to listen, won't you? Until then, good night. Pleasant dreams.
This is Alan C. Anthony reminding you that now it's the Mars Forever Yours bar that brings you Inner Sanctum. And remember to listen at this same time tomorrow night over most of these stations to Can You Top This? Also brought to you by Mars, where they believe that faithful quality makes faithful friends. This program came to you from New York. This is ABC, the American broadcast.